All right, welcome to GeekNights Special number 1.
As promised, we're doing a special weekend podcast because we didn't do one on Thursday.
Now, we didn't do one on Thursday we said we had a certain reason, but we ended up having a completely different reason, which we'll talk about on Monday.
Yeah, 2 or 3 reasons. Yeah.
But anyway, since this is the first one, I'll do a little bit of explaining. Now, normally Geek Nights is 4 nights a week, Monday through Thursday, and every day is a different topic.
If this is your first time ever listening to Geek Nights, go back. Listen to something else, anything else but this.
Yeah, this is a special, meaning it's in the unscheduled category in addition to the podcast category.
Meaning it's also crap.
Yeah, this is not Geek Nights. This is whenever we screw up or don't have an episode, or whenever something crazy happens, we have to do an extra episode. It'll be a special.
Which means it's half-assed.
Yeah. Not only is it half-assed, but I'm using hardware that's barely functioning.
Awesome.
Which I'll talk about on Monday in great detail.
All right, enough of that. So, for our little special to make up for no episode, we're gonna tell you a little, story / I don't know, rant, kind of.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of
informative action.
Something.
All right, so if any of you watch Seinfeld, you might have known the joke about Jerry's no vomit streak.
Yep, it was destroyed, I believe, by a black and white cookie.
Yes, and he hadn't vomited for a very long period of time, many years, and then he ate a black and white cookie and vomited. Well, me, Scott, has a similar vomit streak where I haven't vomited in years and years and years and years.
Now, contrast this to about 6 months ago when Scott had to deal, he's in his room, and I have the master bedroom, which is on the other side it takes up the whole half of the house, and then there's a hallway, and then the other half of the house is Scott's room, his walk-in closet, and the walk-in closet is directly adjacent to the upstairs bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So he heard me, and I had food poisoning. Horrible food poisoning.
Or something.
Yeah, it was food poisoning.
It was bad.
I'm reasonably certain. And basically every 10 minutes for most of that night, I vomited violently and loudly.
It was so loud. God, it was so loud. Now, it happened so many times, he just kept waking my ass up. Yeah.
Followed by the ritual of, rinse mouth out, flush toilet, wash teeth, go to bed.
Yep. Now, I hadn't vomited in years until Friday.
Now, he'd come close, but he didn't actually. I remember one time he got really sick with the opposite vomit.
Yeah, see, I really don't get sick. The only thing that ever happens to me is sometimes I'll eat bad food, or sometimes I'll eat the wrong mix of foods, or sometimes I'll eat too much food, and then my stomach will go, "What did you do? What did you do? Why did you do that?
You tried to do too much with it.
You tried to do too much. Now I will make you very unpleasant." And then after a day or two, I'm back to normal. But that's the only real illness I ever get.
So this weekend we had almost all of the core front row crew over for a crazy board gaming weekend. In fact, we're going to spend all of Tuesday covering in order all the games we played this weekend.
Awesome.
And it was the core group, except for Katsu. He was busy or something, but he was the only one who wasn't here.
Mm-hmm.
Of the chorused original front row crew. There are a lot more people in the front row crew, but that was the original.
Yep.
And we played a million board games, and we had to Pete. His Amtrak was late. We never would have seen that coming.
No, that's a big surprise.
So we had to drive. He missed his connecting train to Beacon, so we had to drive up to Poughkeepsie to pick his ass up. And we were real hungry, and there weren't so many restaurants up there that we wanted to eat at. Well, many that Scott wanted to eat at.
Well, the only places you picked are places you knew I don't like.
What?
Hey, let's go to the fish place. Hey, let's go to the nasty-ass Uno Pizzeria.
Name another place up there.
That's my point.
Yeah, so eventually we pass a Coyote Grill, which we decide, all right, let's go there. Yeah, it's Coyote to all you Easterners here.
That's right.
It's Coyote to people in the West who actually know what the hell that dog is.
No, it's a coyote.
It's a coyote.
Like Wile E. Coyote? It's not Wile Coyote.
Yeah, you know what? People mispronounce a lot of words.
It's not Wile-O Coyote. It's Wile E. Coyote.
Now, while the team is called the Celtics, the word is Celtic.
Yes,
and
that is correct.
It's the same thing. The word.
But the basketball team is the Celtics.
Yeah.
If you try to say Boston Celtics, I'll kick your ass.
Though I will say,
probably not because I don't care that much. But
yeah, but even then, when I hear someone say Celtics, it's still a great sound to me because I know it's a mispronunciation, even though it's accepted. Kind of like gerrymandering versus gerrymandering, but that's a whole other show.
Okay.
Anyway, we go
Back
to this
to
place.
the vomiting.
The place was good food. It was real good food.
It was pretty good food. It was sort of a fancy hip place, like something you'll see in a spy movie or something.
Yeah, like take stuff on the walls and upgrade it like 2 categories.
Yeah, but it was still a chain of some sort. But
Yeah.
not. It's one of those chains that there aren't so many of them, kind of like Smoky Bones.
But the food was a weird combination of Asian food and Western food and just a whole
Italian food.
Yeah, like
And it was Mexican, Asian, Italian, and American food all mixed up.
and a lot of them like dishes were 2 different kinds of food mixed together, and it was all really good.
Yep.
And Scott you got what, some kind of
I got
chicken
this
sandwich?
barbecue chicken sandwich that was really good.
Now you ate the second half of it for dinner today, and it didn't make you bargle.
No, it didn't. So I don't think.
Yet.
I'm really not I think, all right. So around Thursday, Thursday I went to the city, and I didn't really eat much on Thursday. I ate like a bagel, and then I got home and ate dinner, and that was it.
Yep. Friday you didn't eat so much either.
Friday I didn't eat too much until we went to this grill. So I had gone 2 days without eating, but for some reason I didn't feel real hungry. Like my body didn't say eat a lot of food, but I knew I hadn't eaten. But my stomach didn't say fill me up.
Yep.
But I ate anyway. And I think there was something going on before. I don't think it was the food from that grill. I think it just happened to be that's where I ate. And there was something wrong beforehand. I don't know what it was.
All right, sorry to interrupt, but while we're recording the show right now, the Geek Night Special, and I just got messaged by someone, one of our listeners, Brian, the person who won the design contest, bugging us about the fact that we didn't upload the Geek Night Special yet.
Okay, lol.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, we ate at this place after 2 days of me not eating and not feeling very hungry. And then that night, I wasn't feeling 100%, but I didn't feel too bad. Went to bed. And, I don't know, when did we go to bed that night?
Oh, God, it was like 2.
No, because I woke up at 2.
No, we went to bed early. We stayed up late Saturday.
Right.
Yeah, we went to bed early, like midnight.
All right, so around 2 hours later at 2, I woke up with a mad stomach pain. So I went to the bathroom, and I had me some wet number 2.
Great.
Yeah, it was
Now,
bad.
I remember the last time that happened to you. Didn't you cure it by laying naked on the bathroom floor?
That is correct. The last time I cured my stomach illness.
I thank the demon lord that I didn't stumble in upon that.
Yes, I think we talked about this on an early episode.
I think we did.
Anyway.
So if you want to hear the story of Scott lying naked on the bathroom floor after diarrheaing for quite some time, search through the archives.
Yes. Now, here's another story about Scott sitting naked on the bathroom floor.
Wow.
I had diarrhea.
Do I need to add a category for this?
No.
Scott naked on the bathroom floor, episode 4.
And then after I was done, I said it was still pretty painful, like worse than the last time. So I'm like, you know what? I'll try that again. It worked the last time. And I was sweating balls. God damn.
Now, to elucidate that point. Now, on Thursday at my work, I saw the forecast for the weekend, and it said that it was going to rain nonstop. The percentage chance of rain was 100. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to the following Thursday. It predicted up to 8 inches of rain in Beacon over 2 days. That is insane. Now, the actual reality is that it didn't rain at all.
It rained a bit today.
It rained a tiny bit.
Not as much as it could have and should have.
Instead, there has been this constant haze as clouds descended upon us, and it didn't rain. The humidity was 100 billion%, and it's like 80 degrees. My air conditioner can barely keep up. I'm running the air conditioner super cold just to keep the humidity out of my room.
Yep.
In fact, you might hear the audio sound a little odd. That's because the air conditioning and the fan is going full blast in the background of the studio.
And we're not turning it off. Fuck you.
No.
So I had a diarrhea, and I was still in a lot of pain. Unlike usually, it's a relief. It wasn't so much of a relief. So I'm feverish.
Now,
And
at what point did you think, wait a minute, is the streak over?
you know what? Every time this happens, I think it might be the end of the streak. It's like I wake up in the middle of the night with pain, and I say, I hope this isn't the end of the streak, is the first thing I think. I'm perfect. That's completely honest. That's the first thing I think is, this might be the end.
See,
Please let it not be the end.
See, contrast this with me. Now, when I do get sick, which honestly, once I left Rochester and college and started getting sleep and eating properly, I almost never get sick anymore.
Well, you did get sick that night when you were just vomiting 20 times.
Yeah, but I mean, compared to when I was in college, I get sick maybe 2 or 3 times a year at most now. I'm in very good health.
Since around, ever since I had the pneumonia, I think it was in middle school, for like a week, my rate of sickness has really not changed at all. It's like once every few months, stomach problem for a night. The end.
Yep.
That's it. That's the only sickness I've had for years and years and years and years and years.
But when I do get sick, my body, for some reason, is on a vomit hair trigger. It's like my body.
You have built-in ipecac gland.
You know what? If all you have is a hammer, every problem looks like vomit. So if I get sick, I just vomit. If my stomach is, I just vomit. In fact, I think I told the story of when I got food poisoning in New York City, and I vomited so much I'd go to the hospital, and I might have died.
Wow, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, I'm laying on the floor in pain, and the cold floor actually kind of helped, even though I was completely covered in sweat. I mean, it was as if I had been in a sweat swimming pool. Like, it was dripping out of my hair like a faucet. It was crazy. I was all feverish with stomach pains, lying on the bathroom floor, Just about the only part of me that wasn't nasty was my ass because I just wiped it after having diarrhea.
I wanted to know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to continue with that, I can go into great detail. Every time I vomited when I had food poisoning, the difference as time went on in what was coming out of me. Because just when you think there's nothing left in my body, there's absolutely nothing that can come out, something new would come out. Something new and frightening. A new frontier of vomit.
So it didn't really feel nauseous, like, whoa, dizzy nauseous. And I didn't really feel, anything except the pain in the stomach. And then I finally decided, I'll go up to the toilet there. It didn't really feel like I had to vomit that badly.
No, I've done that before.
Not any more than any other time I was sick.
When you get over the toilet, like, if it's going to come, I want to be ready. And then you see, and then if it doesn't happen, you go back to bed, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like I didn't, other times that I had the stomach sickness, it's like vomiting was there as an option. Like if I tried a little bit, I could have vomited easily, but I held back for the sake of the streak.
Wow, if my body wants me to vomit, I figure it knows what it's doing.
Well, it didn't want to vomit super bad. It only said, you can vomit if you want to. It wasn't like a super strong Bargle.
In fact, one time, I've made myself vomit prematurely to prevent future problems.
Yep.
That was when we got that orange juice that went bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll talk about that someday.
Okay. So I get up to the toilet and I'm like, all right, yeah. And I bargled. Oh, that I bargled. It was so bad. Well, it's kind of weird because I haven't bargled in a long time, you see. So I didn't quite remember 100% the feeling of vomiting.
It always feels really good after you're done. And your body
sure does.
Your body says, all right, you did me good.
It sure does.
That'll do, pig.
But what came out was pretty much that sandwich I ate for dinner, and it was you could see like, okay, there's some bread, there's some onion, there's some chicken, there's some barbecue sauce.
Now, see, the only times I've ever vomited like that, where undigested food came back, was when I had done something wrong, like not slept in several days, or not eaten for 2 days and then eaten.
The only time I remember vomiting where what came up was like didn't look like the fake puke you buy at the store, was when I drank too much grape juice and I barfed up purple shit out my nose and my everything.
One time I had the flu. I was a little kid, and my little brother, all I remember is that he ran out of the room screaming.
Yeah.
Now, I was really sick. I had the flu, and I was staying home from school, and we had a vomit bucket. It was this old popcorn bowl
that
we used whenever a kid was sick in the house, or whenever someone was sick, and it laid next to the couch. And I was laying there watching like Mask or something on TV on a tape, and I had eaten a whole bunch of green Jell-O. And I hadn't vomited yet, so we didn't think this was a vomiting flu. It was just a flu.
Oh.
And there was no warning. There was no nothing. I was sitting there.
So you should have made Jell-O. God damn it. Should have made a Jell-O.
Hey, at least I had the Lassie.
The what?
The Lassie.
Lassie.
Yeah.
I was like, Lassie? That's a dog.
But I was sitting there, and suddenly I just felt this horrible urge, and I turned, and a stream of green, the size of my open mouth and my 2 nostrils, came flying out of me with force. And it filled the bucket and overflowed. And
oh my God, overflowed.
My little brother had...
How much Jell-O did you eat?
My little brother had to have been like 4 or 5, and he ran out of the room screaming. Just, ah! Ah! And my mom runs in like, what? Is he dead? What's going on? And I'm just, there's a pile of vomit, just green.
All right. So, I vomited, a couple times. It wasn't, I guess you could lump them all into one vomit. It was like vomit, stop, vomit, stop, vomit, stop.
Yeah.
Vomit, stop. The end. And
Yeah.
that was it. Didn't vomit anymore. Then I took a shower immediately.
Yeah, I always do that.
And while I was in the shower, I felt some vomit still at the back of my throat and in my nose. So I kind of blew my nose and like a piece of chicken came out. It was a piece of chicken sitting in the drain of the shower, and I was looking at it. I was feverish, slightly delusional. I'm feverish, slightly delusional, in a slightly cold shower, looking down at the drain at this piece of chicken. And I stood there for a few minutes.
Yeah, I know that delusion state where your body, you just don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it wasn't like LSD delusional, but it was fever delusional. So after I decided I was no longer covered in sweat, I dried off. It's nice and cool. Went back to bed, still had a little grumpiness. I got up a few hours later for just a little bit of diarrhea, but that was it.
Yep. Now,
And I haven't had a bowel movement since Friday night. And it's Sunday. Yay, Pepto-Bismol.
have you been still taking that?
No, I took it once. And I barely ate anything. Remember? What did I eat since then?
Well, we went to the Indian place for dinner, and all you ate was like one piece of bread.
I ate
and that
like
lassi.
3 pieces of bread and a mango lassi.
Yeah, it was real thin bread, though.
And I had a muffin and some toast and French toast. Lots of bread.
Yeah, of course, then today we had the food.
Oh, yeah, I ate the other half of the sandwich that I bargled up.
So we'll see if you bargle tonight.
I really don't think I'm going to bargle. I think I'm good now.
Yeah, I don't think it was the sandwich.
I think tomorrow, like this I don't think there wasn't anything in the sandwich that was like poisonous or toxic or anything like that. But if I had eaten anything, it would have done it. If I could have eaten a steak or a hamburger at a different restaurant, I would have barfed that up. It was the fact of how much I ate and the timing of the eating.
Yeah.
That did it. I think it was very much a condition from before that caused it.
Now, I like how when any one of us woke up, because I was asleep in my giant bed, and Pete was asleep on the giant futon, and Alex was asleep on my giant comfortable chair, because my room was very large. And the door was shut and locked, and the air conditioning was on, so we had no idea this happened.
Nope.
The first time
if I didn't say anything, they would have thought the streak was alive.
The first time he sees any of us.
I could have lied about it and kept on. So if anyone questions my honesty again, they can shove it.
The first thing he says to me when I wake up is, Rim, the streak is over. I bargled all night. And I was like, what?
It wasn't all night. That's not what I said.
You said something like that. You're like, I bargled last night.
That's what I said.
And I diarrheaed, and I was sick, and bleh. And I was like, what? Because I hadn't even woken up fully yet. He just walked into my room as I was starting to wake up, and he's
Yep.
So the streak is over.
Streak is over. We got to start the new streak. The current streak, 2 days.
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts.
Hopefully 10 years. Bargling is unpleasant. The one thing, though, is I remember, I know what the smell of vomit is and the taste of vomit is because I've tasted and smelled it, when other people vomit. And I remember that time you vomited on the couch in Colony.
Yeah,
and the whole living room smelled like vomit.
I remember the time when I vomited. God, when was this? I was in 11th grade, I think, and I had strep throat. And in addition to that, I had a sinus infection. I vomited 5 times a day for a week.
Yeah, but the food that I vomited was so undigested and so it had stomach acid, but not that much, so that it didn't smell like vomit or taste like vomit.
That's almost more disturbing.
Yeah, but it was actually made the vomiting less unpleasant, because the food was in small enough bits that it just kind of flowed out. It didn't get, besides the piece of chicken that got stuck, of course, but at the same time, it wasn't all acrid and, because usually you smell vomit, you get nauseous and you vomit more. That didn't happen.
Which seems to be an evolutionary thing.
Yeah, which helped me out, actually, because that's the number one thing I don't like about vomiting is the smell and the feeling. And this was actually, on the scale of vomits, not a very unpleasant one, considering that I was vomiting. I mean, if you consider it on what was pleasant overall in the universe, this is very unpleasant. But compared to any other vomiting, this is a pretty good vomit.
All right. So thus ends the first Geek Nights Special, which special is a magic word that means we copped out or fucked up in some way during the week, and we're making
talked
up
about
for
vomiting for how many minutes?
it. Yeah, actually, this was longer than we expected.
Awesome.
All right,
I'm
so
going to
once again,
bed.
if you're a new listener, this is not Geek Nights. What you just listened to is the halfest of
It was
an
two
ass.
idiots talking about vomiting on Sunday night.
This is the minimum effort we can put into a podcast. If we didn't do all the extra stuff we do, this is what Geek Nights would be. This is the unedited, just crapo special.
If we made Geek Nights, pillow talk with Rim and Scott like we planned to do how many years ago?
God,
This is what it would be.
2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 years ago. I feel
Only we would be
old.
talking to each other instead of to you.
Yeah, we've gotten real good at talking to the audience instead of to each other.
Maybe we should talk to each other and fuck the audience.
But
Anyone got an idea on that?
I don't know. I've noticed
But
that
see, the problem with that is a lot of things we talk about are informative, and we already both know it, so it's kind of painful to do that.
the other thing is we're like when we're with the front row crew, no one, we don't talk directly to anyone. We all just kind of talk at the room.
Yep.
And there's very little. It's hard to explain. We should record just us playing a board game sometime.
We should, but we need equipments.
Actually, I'm thinking of buying just because I'm already blowing money. I mean, we bought that Mac. I'm gonna buy a new Linux computer soon. I gotta say, I love the Mac, but it feels so nice to be using Linux to make a podcast again. It's just so easy and it just works, which is something I never thought I'd say.
Oh my god.
But that's for Monday.
Yeah, this is the same person who how many years ago was like, fuck your Linux, I'm Windowsing. I don't need that Linux shit.
Yeah, but back then, I mean, Gentoo was just a morass. Ubuntu was not really.
Gentoo
so
was
great
awesome in those days.
Yet. Yeah, yeah.
It's just more awesome now.
Yeah, I'm still really debating between using Ubuntu or Gentoo on my new box.
Now that I got XGL working, I'm all voting for the Ubuntu. For
Yeah.
the desktops, at least.
Because XGL is cool. But at the same time, I don't know if I'll be able to get Lomoko to work in Ubuntu, and that is a deal breaker.
You don't need the stupid Lomoko.
Yes, I do.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, I
we
do.
should do a double blind.
Yeah, you know what? We can. We'll do it on my computer.
No, the
sometime
same
this week.
sensitivity setting. One computer will have 800, and one computer will
No,
have 400.
we'll use my computer, and we'll do it 5 times. You will either turn it on or turn it off. Then I'll come into the room with you not there. I'll use it. I'll rate it. We'll do it a bunch of times and see what the results are.
All right. We'll do that.
Yeah, if you want, you could observe without me seeing you, like behind my back, to make sure that I don't go check, which I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the problem is if I set the sensitivity real high, like as high as I can set it in Linux, if the reporting rate is only the 400, it skips around because the sensitivity is so high, like it skips pixels.
We'll leave it at your normal what sensitivity setting that you use.
Actually, you know what? After the show, I could just show you the difference, and you'd see it because it skips pixels when I don't set it to 800 because the
Alright.
sensitivity is just set too high.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. Anyway, Geek Nights Special is over. If you're a new listener and this is your first meeting with Geek Nights, go to www.frontrowcrew.com or go on iTunes, search for Geek Nights, and listen to any episode that does not have the word special in it.
There you go. This is the only one that has the word special in it right now.
As far as I know, we might have put the word special in one at someday. I don't know.
Well, don't listen to those either. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, we're done. See you tomorrow.